So in this video, we're going to take a look at 3 of my favourite apps when it comes to video recording. We're going to take a look at some of the features that these apps hold and why I think they are some of the best ones to use, particularly if you're starting out when it comes to video recording. If you are a creator, an entrepreneur, a business owner, or a non-profit, then maybe this video is for you. Without any more time, let's dive into this video. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Jason and I am a smartphone video content creator based out in the UK. And on this channel, we like to create videos that are going to help you to produce good quality, professional looking media that you can use on your website or to grow your personal brand. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 3 of my favorite apps when it comes to recording video on your smartphone. What I'm going to do is break down all 3 of these apps. I'm going to look at some of the features that they have, the cost of the apps, and also some of the things that set them apart from each other, whether that be the simplicity of use or all the way through to some of the control and advanced features that they give you. Some are really easy, some are a little bit more complicated, some are on a budget, some cost a little bit to purchase, but there is a spectrum here that you can kind of pitch yourself on, whether you're new to videography or whether you are an expert using your smartphone to do it yourself. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it, and we're going to take a look at our first app, which is our native app. Okay, so our native app is a fantastic option, particularly if you are starting out. I really like this app for its versatility. I feel like it has a lot to offer for just a built-in camera app to your phone. We have all sorts of camera features, like we have slow-mo, we have time-lapse, which is fantastic. But if I just flick back to video, one of the other great features that you can have is this ability to adjust exposure just by moving up and down. So if we hold it in, the square appears, we move it up and down, we can adjust the exposure this way as well. Okay, so one of the other great features about this is the fact that we can create this nice little bokeh effect. So if I come in close and I just adjust my focus onto an object in the foreground, you can see in the background how we start to get this bokeh effect where it blurs the background and really focuses in on that at the front, which is fantastic. One of the other great features that you can see is we have an auto exposure and an auto focus lock. So just by simply tapping on the screen and this square appearing, we can change our focus and change our exposure. So if I say focus in on our little board game here in front of us, what I can do is if I hold my finger down for a couple of seconds, it goes into auto lock. So if I readjust my focus and zoom in, you'll see the foreground becomes a little bit fuzzy, and that's just because of that focus. So we can readjust just by tapping it once, it will readjust the focus. If we hold it down again, we see it focuses in. As I pull my camera away, you can see the blurry focus. Some of the other little nifty features are the quick access to the frames. We can change between 24, 30 and 60, which is nice. We can also adjust between 4K and HD, which is recording at 1080p, which is a great little feature. So we also have our kind of basics when it comes to flash. We have our auto flash, we have our flash on and off, but this is just such a great and simple app to use if you're starting out, particularly in video. There's a lot of effects that you can use doing this, but just to record the basics and to get good visual when it comes to your videos, this is a really sound app to use to start out with. So next up is our Filmic Pro app. Now, Filmic Pro is definitely a professional grade app which will definitely enhance your videos to definitely the next edge to create good looking professional media. As you can see on the screen, we have our focus, which is the square, which we can move around, and also our exposure, which is the circle. Now, if I come in really close, you can see if I move the circle, we can adjust the exposure quite easily. This is just an automatic exposure. And then what we can do is we can auto adjust our focus as well. So if we want to get a focus on the background rather than the foreground, we can do that. But just for an example, I'm going to focus in on these headphones at the front. And then what you can do is you can actually lock them. So if we tap on the square or tap on the circle, we can actually lock the exposure and we can lock the focus. So if I pull away, you can see we're getting a bit blurry again. and that's just again because the focus is now out. Okay, so what sets this app apart from the other apps has definitely got to be that it gives you so much control. Filmic Pro have definitely got a handle over that, and you can see on the screen along the bottom of the app there are lots of different features that you can access, giving you time codes, being able to see how many frames per second and what resolution you're recording in is fantastic. You can also monitor your battery life as well as how much storage you've got on your device. Some of the things it gives you is advanced controls. So if I pop this button in the left hand corner, you can see it opens up some other controls. When it comes to focus, we can manually adjust that. We can also control the exposure through our shutter speed as well, which is again another additional feature that this app offers. We also have a zoom control, so I'm able to manually zoom on the screen. Again, this is a bit of a digitalized zoom, but it's still a great feature to have where you can adjust slowly all the way to being able to just speed up very quickly, which is fantastic. You can also see as well, just to the left, we have our zoom option here. Gives us a bit of a smoother control when it comes to zooming. On the home screen as well, we have our audio levels just on the right hand side. You can see there what is a good and manageable audio. This will adjust depending on what microphone you might attach to your phone when using Filmic Pro. If we take a look at the bottom left, we have some controls that help us adjust our temperature and our hue, which is fantastic, and just gives us a bit of flexibility to be able to do that. One of the great additions to this app is our little menu that's open through the settings. It gives you such flexibility to adjust things manually from your resolution. The frame rates, again, we can adjust those manually for capture and playback. We can also take a look at our audio, so it will highlight which microphone you're using. So this one at the moment is using the back one on the iPhone. One of the things that Filmic Pro offers is an adjustment to hardware. So if we click on the hardware, you can see we have the option to use some form of gimbal. Now I have a DJI Osmo Mobile, which helps me stabilize my phone when I'm doing more kind of professional recording. What's great about this is this app will connect up to your gimbal and allow you to use the controls on your gimbal to monitor and manage how you use this app. Personally, I think this app is fantastic, and if you are definitely thinking about wanting to create cutting edge video, this is definitely the app to use. One thing I will say with this app is it does come with a bit of a cost, so we are looking at $14.99 to purchase the app in the UK through the App Store. Also, there is the option for a cinematographer pack. So as you can see here, this is currently locked. There are additional features that you can get, especially being able to record in log, really worth thinking about. That comes in at an additional $13.99. So if you are a professional really looking to capture the essence of using smartphone to record professional media, I would definitely recommend checking out Filmic Pro as an app of choice when it comes to recording professional media in any kind of capacity. Okay, so one of the last apps I'm going to take a look at is Focus. Now, Focus is free to download through the App Store, and what I find really useful about Focus, it is primarily used for social media uploads. So what is great about this app is, I think the main difference for me is the control you get over that bokeh effect, that effect of blurriness in the background. As you can see, I've currently got it on 16. And if I adjust it, you can start to see the background blur out and it creates this wonderful effect. Now, if I was to kind of set that into a position, you can start to see the effect it does have and the effect that it changes. And that's one of the fantastic features with this, is that you really do start to get some good background effects, particularly if you are recording outdoors or if you are particularly emphasizing on a product. This is really good to use on social media. What's also great is it gives you the manual control of being able to control the exposure, which is wonderful, and also we have these quick access to the zoom and we can flick between them, no problem. Again, you've got some of your simple settings like your automatic adjustments and also your flash. One of the great things is if you look at the options, we can readjust the framing for this, which is why I find it so useful for social media, because we can scale this down to the perfect size, and also we have grid lines and additional features like that to go with it. Once again, I think this app is fantastic if you are using social media and looking for a really fast and quick app that will help you create good cutting edge footage that you can just put out there instantly. Okay, so over the next few weeks we're going to be using these apps that you've just seen, and we're going to be teaching you some of the basics when it comes to shooting with your smartphone. So we're going to dive into how to use the apps, we're going to dive into the use of additional equipment like microphones and lights, and we're also going to dive in different tips and tricks that you can use to enhance your videos and make them look even more professional when it comes to using them on social media or using them via your website. We are going to take you from zero to hero, so make sure you have hit that subscribe button. Perfect, so I hope you found this video useful. If you have, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe for more video content, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to make sure you are receiving all our content weekly as it is released.